Okay, video review of Bromantane, which is under the prescription name Ledastin. It did go through clinical trials and was approved in 2005 for asthenia, which, having to look into asthenia, it appears to be, it's essentially like full-blown like physical burnout, fatigue, malaise, not sleeping good. It's kind of a weird condition classification or whatever. But yeah, that's what they studied it for. It went through clinical trials. I think there's, one of the studies was about 750 people. So there was, this is something that is researched, not like a research chemical or kind of unproven without human data. So it is technically, it is a psychostimulant is how they're classifying it, but they're also referring to it as kind of like a synthetic adaptogen, where it does modulate stress to, in my experience, at a very impressive level, where you are getting kind of a boost in motivation, you're getting a boost in energy. It's actually banned by WADA. So, pretty much if you want to look at compounds that are impressive for physical performance, then look to see what WADA has banned, because they ban the stuff that actually works, which is like BPC 157, TB4, etc. I'm getting off topic, but yeah, Bromantane to me kind of stuck out because it improves dopamine synthesis. It works on tyrosine hydroxylase. I'm not sure if I said that right, but so pretty much it upregulates some things that have to do with the production of dopamine. So it improves, dopamine synthesis. And I dove deep to see if they could identify the exact mechanism of action, what's exactly going on. And it's one of these ones where it's like, they're kind of theorizing, but they can't pinpoint it. And it's, if you dig into a lot of compounds, sometimes that's how it is. Like they can't pinpoint exactly what it's doing. But what's interesting about it is, like you say, so you're getting, it is a mentally stimulating compound. So it's good for people that are, high performance, high stress, really need to, catch an edge, or even sport performance, who really need that edge or need help with modulating stress with a high stress lifestyle. This is something that, to me, it's like, compared to Adderall, compared to this other stuff that are hardcore amphetamines that are just burning the shit out of your system, that, are jacking you up and then crashing you, this is, looks like a way better option to me. And they're studying it for neurodegenerative conditions right now. So it is in clinical trials again. And like I say, I don't know if I said it or not, but it did go through clinical trials and was approved under the name Ledastin for akinesia or whatever. But yeah, so the videos I end up making, the funky, weird videos I make, are about stuff that produce, a good effect, and don't look like they have major downsides. And the literature looks really good on Bromantane. They didn't see, there wasn't any kind of burnout or crash. They did document that, and they also talked about, they didn't see any dependency issues. They didn't see any buildup. It was just kind of, it sounds like it's kind of a free lunch, which in biology is very rare. And I'm always skeptical of that. It's rare that you find something that can just kind of, give you a boost, give you health benefits without any drawbacks. The body's always trying to be in balance. So when you're pushing on something like this, there's got to be some kind of downstream effect you have to watch out for. But it looks like something that you can use if you're using it cautiously, if you're not abusing it. It looks like a much better alternative to a lot of stimulants. And how many people are under chronic stress? How many people are looking for that edge, for cognitive boost? And to me, this is something that it actually delivers. It actually works. I'm very sensitive to compounds, and I felt a difference from this at, I think 25 milligrams for me was very stimulating. Now, I'm one of those people that I'm a hyper responder. If something's going to work for me, I'm going to feel it at, about half the dose. So everything I use, when I'm trying it out first, I use half the dose because I know I'm going to respond strongly to it. And every time, this is a perfect example. 25 milligrams was plenty for me. And they're saying 50 to 100 milligrams is kind of, target dose. That's what's been studied. I've gone even lower. I've gone at like 15 milligrams, and it's still, I mean, I notice it. It definitely gives me a boost when I'm, you know, trying to work on something and I need to focus. It is not hard. Like I can get really locked in with this stuff to the point I'm almost irritable if I get interrupted, where I'm like, don't fucking talk to me. I'm focused on something right now. Which for me, I get with ADD anyways, where it's like hyper focus. Like I get locked in on something I don't want to stop. And I didn't, you know, I don't feel like this was a negative in a manner. It was just, for me, it's really easy to kind of get absorbed into a topic and just dive deep into it and just go without burning out. That's what I noticed with Bromantane is I wouldn't kind of reach, you know, the drop off with mental performance. It would happen much later in the day. So the onset is about 1.5 to 2 hours. I'm seeing half-life of like, I think 6 to 8 hours. So it's something, if you take early in the day, it's going to be coming out of your system, you know, at a reasonable hour. But if you're taking it middle of the day, then it's going to be in your system, you know, when you're trying to sleep. And to me, it would definitely interfere with that, because it is psychostimulant. But so I haven't had any sleep issues with it, and I'm a person who will have sleep issues. If something is overstimulating, it will over rev me and it will mess with my sleep. This didn't mess with my sleep. I took it early in the morning. By 7, 8 o'clock, you know, I can tell I'm starting to come down off of it, and it wasn't a hard crash where it's just like I've been going all day and now I'm freaking tired. So, and compounds like that for me are perfect, where it's like, you know, 6, 7 o'clock, you know, I start to kind of unwind and I'm able to sleep normal. And the last thing I want to do is sacrifice sleep, you know, for boosted performance one day that I'm gonna have to pay back 3 or 4 times, you know, over the next couple days. That's not the stuff I'm looking for. So for me, Bromantane fits what I'm looking for, where it's, you know, anecdotal feedback is there. It has human clinical trials. It looks, you know, I don't see any significant downsides or any risks. I mean, it really came back with a very low side effect profile. So for me, it was one of these things where I was like, okay, low risk, possibly high reward. Boom, it fits in the box of what I'm looking for. I'm not, you know, I've seen too many people that chase this, you know, cognitive performance stuff, and they make a mess of themselves chasing with amphetamines and Adderall and burning yourself out. And I'm like, it's not sustainable. Like, I want an edge, but I want it sustainably. Like, I want to push the limit a little bit and then dial it back. You know, that's what I've seen is a good, effective approach. That's why you cycle everything. You know, that's why you don't just hammer one compound, the same receptor, the same pathway, because you're going to burn it out. You're going to lose efficacy with that compound. That's just kind of a side tangent. There is definitely an art to using nootropics. I got into nootropics because of ADD and, you know, anxiety and these other cognitive issues where I didn't want to go down the road of medication. You know, I didn't like the pharmaceutical medications, you know, the Adderall, you know, anxiety medication, like antidepressants, like none of this shit made sense to me. I'm like, this isn't fixing anything. You know, it's a Band-Aid. Okay, sure, there's a time and a place. If you really need those things at a point in your life, then sure, take them. Like, do what you have to do. But bigger picture for me, I'm like, okay, let me look into ways to heal the brain, to, you know, kind of biohack or manipulate biochemistry, biology in a way that isn't going to create long-term issues. And, you know, what I've seen with synthetics and pharmaceuticals is you're just suppressing issues. It's, you know, you're switching one thing and you're sacrificing by, you know, 10, 15 side effects, or, you know, it works for a period of time and they tell you to take it daily, and then it's like, boom, okay, it's not working so well. And now you're left with those imbalances from that medication. And to me, it just didn't make sense. You know, maybe, like I said, there's a time and a place for that stuff. I'm starting to ramble, but yeah, Bromantane is a cool one. I would definitely look into it, definitely research it. The way I like to use it is just, I mean, maybe once a week, you know, maybe a couple times a month when there's a day like I need to crush it. This is kind of my like secret weapon when it's like, okay, I need to I need to just dive into work and be focused and almost be like a machine and just, you know, go and just get work done. I wouldn't say, for me, it's not like a social nootropic. I'm, you know, like I say, it doesn't make me sociable. It makes me just want to work, just get shit done. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like a really, like, my favorite feel good compound. Like, for me, like when I want to relax and I just want to have a good day, if I'm going out with my family or, you know, I'm being social, for me, that is more like cerebral lysine is probably my favorite, because it just gives you this, for me, it gives me a really nice sense of calm. I just feel good, you know. It kind of balances out my ADD. I don't feel anxious. I'm just in a good, relaxed state, which for me is, you know, that's not something that's easy to attain. And I used to do that with alcohol, you know, and other potent GABA agonists, which, you know, this is not a really good way to go about it. But yeah, so this is something that fits in the toolbox of things I really like. This was a really poorly planned video, but you know, I think the gist of it is out there. So for people that want to learn more about Bromantane, I've created a private membership with, you know, Project Biohacked, which is, you know, it's essentially, it's a private member group on Facebook. I also built a website that has a private forum built into it. The private forum, I haven't loaded content onto it yet because it took so much time to get all the content I wanted on the just on the Facebook group, the private group, which is, you know, custom tailored towards people that really want to learn about peptides. You know, has the complete self-education, you know, step-by-step how to use peptides, how to source them, how to reconstitute everything. But I'm diving into pretty much all topics, all the stuff that I've been, you know, researching and testing out for the last 10 years. And I found, you know, quite a few things that are great, that really do make a difference, and that not enough people talk about. And you're never going to find all these things accumulated into one space and tell you how, you know, based on the literature, based on the feedback, how to use them safely and effectively. That's what I saw in the industry that was just lacking. I just saw a lot of people that put out great content with health influencers and stuff, but it was always, you know, what's new? What's the newest supplement? What's the newest, you know, biotechnology and all this stuff? And it's like, cool, like that stuff is interesting, but what stuff really works? Of that stuff, not all that stuff works. Some of that stuff I've bought and I've been like, this is nothing. This doesn't deliver on half of the results that was claimed. I was a waste of money. So like I say, so I've built this platform resource to just talk about the things that just flat out work and work most consistently. And Bromantane is one of those things. So I have write-ups on Bromantane, how to source it, how to use it. Actually sourcing is luckily not bad right now with, you know, one of my favorite peptide suppliers, Limitless Life Nootropics. He has Bromantane in stock. I think it literally sold out the first time he got it. You know, it's one of these things, it's not the easiest compound to source, but there's a few, I mean, there's maybe one or two trustworthy suppliers. Like you see, you can't really get it. You can't get a prescription for it. It's not in the US, you know, still one of the things that's still in, you know, being trialed and looked into. But yeah, so I'll link Limitless in the video notes. And I'll also link the Project Biohack membership if anybody's interested in joining. But yeah, that's about all I got. Bromantane's good stuff. Definitely look into it. Add it to the toolbox. Peace out, people.